ESL, but I can't remember exactly what he did. And everyone going for Cure at this point. Really a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, not even a 2-0 TVT record here for YoDa is going to really pull it through for Cure. Cure's a guy who almost made it to the GSL finals. He's been pretty on point, kind of like pulling it through as the fourth player for Jin-Air, kind of in the way that Stats is doing. I feel like Stats is doing slightly better on that note, but Cure also a very, very strong player.
4-1 this season, 7-7 against Terran, and overall 30-35 with 2 ace matches lost. One thing I think about Cure is his TVZ. I think it's fantastic.
Yes.
Definitely one of the most powerful matchups for him.
It's definitely memorable, you know? Like you were saying, you think about it when you think about this guy. It's just something that comes to mind when you see his face. He's played against a lot of guys in very high pressure situations and looks pretty okay right now. He doesn't look too nervous. He's biting his lips a bit.
And here is YoDa. Currently 2-4 this season, 2-0 versus Terran. Hello.
Yep, that's that record we keep talking about. And this guy, he's always usually pretty calm and composed when he comes in the booth. Seems to like hip-hop music. One of the few here actually at Pro League. And
I like it, man.
Yeah, I like it too. Shows attitude, shows charisma. Seems confident in general. I like his style, but I think he's got to start playing a little bit better before I actually support him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, guys, we are going to jump into game number 2 here on Overgrowth. It's going to be Cure versus YoDa in a TVT. Let's jump into it. Down here in the bottom left, in the red for the Jin-Air Green Wings, it is Cure.
And up here in the top right, the Terran player, YoDa. Now, Valdez, looking at this map, I feel like we will not be seeing gas first.
You think so? Why is that?
I feel like it's not the same kind of map that Catalina is, where drops are as popular. It's a bit harder to get drops in this map. There's not really much airspace. We are seeing a very early SCV on the map.
And something tells me that is not a scout.
Yeah.
That is quite early. I mean, the depot's coming down. As he is coming down on the map, he's not even going for a scout. So looks like it is going to be Barracks placed very far ahead.
Well, actually, we might actually see... Nope, never mind. IEM.
Yeah, IEM Shindonyeon. That's actually where this arena is located in Korea.
Ah.
He asks, when is that going to happen? When is IEM Shindonyeon going to happen? I don't know. Maybe one day, man.
That would be great, but man, it would be stacked. It might be the one reason why they don't have them here just yet. Is it'd just be nothing but Koreans, man. It'd be like the biggest open bracket if they allowed it. And
that'd be sick, man. That would be a lot of fun to cast.
yeah, we are seeing a gas first. My apologies, Valdez. My apologies.
It's okay,
I
man.
blame the food poisoning. And
interestingly enough, it's only one Barracks here out of Cure out on the map.
yeah, a proxy reaper.
Yeah. Gonna get to the base very, very
Yeah,
fast.
potentially a lot of damage coming here. There's a pretty late Rax, obviously, from the gas first. Actually, gonna be Marauders.
Hold that thought, Moonglade.
Hold that thought. All right. So you're going to be that sort of Marauder sort of opening, which is ancient at this point. I've seen a lot in the past. I used to do it back when I played Terran and Wings of Liberty, like the first year the game came out.
This is so interesting. We've been seeing a lot of wacky builds today. First Dark. Now here we see Cure. Going for an interesting build as well. Concussive shells being researched. Going to be some pretty sticky Marauders.
Very hard to deal with this early in the game. Probably a pretty good choice against a gas first when you look at it. what do they really have to defend? They obviously have later Marines. They're going to have an early factory so they can make early Hellbats. Oh, sorry, not Hellbats, Hellions, which do not do well against Marauders.
Of course, armored units. And one extra SCV out here. Looks like he might want to build a bunker.
He really needs spotters for the ramp, so he doesn't really want to face check with that Marauder. He wants to try and get the SCV up the ramp first so he can take some shots at whatever's there.
Ooh, very nicely done. Skirting around the shadows, and here we go. 2 Marauders, and the SCV's in the front to tank. He sticks onto one, but right now the SCVs are being pulled, and the bunker is started.
He even made an engineering bay like to help choke. That is so funny. I believe that Widowmine, though, does get a nice plant, so it will be harder for these Marauders to find a way back in, and I think he really has to pull back these SCVs, right?
Yeah, they're taking way too much damage. As long as he can link up those concussive shells, he's going to do a ton of damage. Already 8 SCVs going down. A huge scan right now. Oh, my God.
Is he going to kill it? Yes, he does. The last shot from the Marauders.
Unbelievable scan right there.
Sickening. Sickening, Valdez. And
sickening for YoDa, man. Here, he's got for a Marauders really nice micro here. But all of them are very low. And as long as he can target them down, should be able to do okay against this. But already a lot of damage has been done. And the rush is not over yet.
No, we can keep going with this. Now that the SCVs are back out in the natural and the Marine, trying their best. It's going to eventually go down, but there's another Marauder on the way. And what do we have at the top of the ramp? We have 2 Marines, 2 SCVs. Ooh, Medivac. Medivac will help. Medivac will help.
It definitely will. I mean, it's going to put a stop to this already. But right now it's 22 to 13 workers. And I don't know. Does YoDa go for a counterattack here? He doesn't have that many units. I mean, he's got 1 medevac. He can get across the map decently fast.
Not a bad idea to start applying the pressure. Now he's in the situation. Now that he's wiped out the push. And as he was saying, it is a bit of a disparity in workers. 24 to 15. With Cure leading the way.
Here's a medevac trying to boost across the map. There's the boost. What do we have back at the base for? Cure does have a factory and a starport. But as for now, just making mostly Marauders over there at that Rax. And only 2 Hellions here in the main. A Viking is being produced, but it's not ready yet. And does YoDa go for the drop? He's too scared to do it, man. Yeah. It's just those 2 Hellions.
And now, this counterattack with the Marauders can actually get a lot done. Ooh, Widowmine. I don't think you can actually kill this one there. There we go. Gets into the main. They're going to have to force more SCVs. Oh, and a Banshee.
Yeah. Banshee should put a stop to it. He may be able to get 1 or 2 more SCVs, or none. Just barely missing that.
Shows the Banshee. So more Vikings are being produced from Cure.
And this Marauder actually gets to scout on the cloak. Never think I'd say that. He's able to do it. Trying to get another kill here, I think. Oh, no, just barely.
1 shot away.
Not able to do it. Now he's got a CC behind this. He's making missile turrets. Cure's in a great position, man.
He is. He's ready for everything. The supplies are still pretty even. Very even, actually. Army supply obviously going to be a bit better for YoDa because he did lose all those SCVs. So clearly behind in them.
Yeah. We do have a decent amount of Vikings out so far. Just 2, but that's pretty good at defending a drop. Not in position, though, and now he's flying over the missile turret, and here come the Vikings.
Ooh,
that boost is going to run out.
Yep. Nicely done. Oh, cannot deal with this Widowmine. Takes a hit.
And here comes the Banshee with the cloak, but again, he's still got 2 missile turrets. They haven't gone anywhere. The scan is going to clean up the Widowmine. The Viking's going to easily be able to come over here and defend against this. He even finishes that CC just barely in time. He does lose the SCV, paid for it with his life. And we see no CC on the side of YoDa.
We're seeing
a
there
1-1.
we go.
Okay.
Late CC. Yeah, going 1-1-1 until that point. Banshee Marine tank. Another classic build.
Yeah, man. Gives me nightmares to this day.
Oh, I remember Puma. The one guy that could do it so damn well, but then he just disappeared. Got complacent.
Guess so. Well, Banshee in the main, not responding too early is Cure. Okay, here he comes. Banshee only able to get 1 kill, and with this many Vikings, 1 scan will be able to clean up that Banshee. So not quite that worth it. Another cloaked Banshee over here at the natural, but no SCVs are transferred just yet. And here's that push.
Now this should be interesting. Let's have a look exactly what we see from the Jin Terran. We see a lot of Hellions. We see about 5 Hellions in that natural. 3 Vikings, 2 Marines, 1 Medivac, nothing else. He could actually take some really critical damage from this.
He's moving out on the map with those Hellions, and already the Banshee getting to work. I think he's only able to take out maybe two, maybe 3 Marines before this gets to the base. Now taking a bit of damage onto his Vikings.
Ooh. Tank just in time. Still going to be disadvantaged against the 2 tanks of YoDa. But YoDa has to make something happen with this because he is so far behind with his natural.
That he does. He does have the higher army supply right now. He's got a very nice position outside of that CC. Looks like he is going to move back just a bit, though. Feeling a bit of the pressure, possibly waiting for his 3rd tank. Maybe feigning a backup and trying to come into the main with his Banshee and get some damage done.
Finding what he can, but still, that turret is going to help him out a lot. The one thing he does lose is air sort of vision of where exactly we see YoDa. Now, YoDa is in a great position to deal a lot of damage to the SCVs. Already 8 going down all up.
Yeah, denies that gas as well. But with that Banshee going down, he's going to lose a lot of his vision over there. So he's not going to be quite as effective. Seems like Kier has grabbed control of the air control right now. This is going to force YoDa to back off, as the tanks of Kier have the better vision. And things have, interestingly enough, kind of stabilized here in this game. Both players having an expansion. Kier is ahead 5 workers, but YoDa's got the better army.
Yeah, very similar compositions and yeah, almost identical supplies.
So now we see a drop coming this way. I actually didn't see that 3rd CC coming out here for Kier. That is definitely going to give him an advantage, especially once he lands that and starts mining. Looks like he wants to put on the pressure at the same time, at least with the drop for now.
Well, there is a tank in position to in siege mode even, to deal with this. And that's a pretty empty mineral line, by the way. When you look at it, it's like, wow, that's actually not 8 SCVs there. That's actually a real big problem for YoDa.
Yeah, he's not actually splitting that up totally correctly here with 44 SCVs in total. Could definitely get more onto that natural. Good spot there, Moonglade, actually.
Yeah, you could definitely start to transfer SCVs from the main base. That is almost mined out.
Banshee coming back into the main base of Kier, gets 3 kills and backs out, survives. Now Kier looking to posture, possibly towards that 3rd base, just try to defend. He did scout with his drop that, in fact, YoDa does not have a 3rd CC on the way. So he should be happy about that.
Yeah, he knows he's ahead at this point. He just has to maintain it, not take any bad fights. It's still a little while before he really gets that army advantage, a noticeable army advantage.
That Banshee just barely sneaks in, and it's going to get some more damage done. YoDa's somehow found like this little nook right next to this gas where he's able to get a bunch of SCVs at a row.
Yeah, it really feels like he should just put a turret there. He would have saved so many more SCVs. Kier identifies where the army of YoDa is. What will YoDa do now?
Well, equal upgrades for these guys, +1/+1. So far, the combat shields upgrade is pretty close, although YoDa is slightly ahead. Finally, that pesky Banshee does go down. Scans abound. Looking at the army comps here, it looks like YoDa, most of that army supply is in the higher number of Marines, actually, in fact. Now 48 to 29, whereas Kier's got 3 Vikings. It looks like a Hellion as well.
One scary thing is that I don't think YoDa's scattered this 3rd base, which is a big problem. He's going to come in now. He's going to see it. He's going to be like, oh my god. And a huge engagement, a huge run-in into the natural.
He's got a decent split on his Marines right now, actually getting to work on those tanks. that don't have the biggest support here, but finally all of those Marines do get cleaned up, and the Vikings now getting to work on those medevacs. But some nicely placed Marines in the back there will protect the tanks, at least for now. Nicely done, taking out 2 medevacs in a row, actually, is Cure.
Yeah, big tank advantage for YoDa, but cannot really capitalize on it just yet. He doesn't have the air control, so he has a much harder time trying to fight tanks in a tank war.
That he does. YoDa still pushing this. He knows he needs to get something done. He has scouted that third base at least now. One Marine deciding life wasn't worth it, going out to his death. Now YoDa trying to take a more aggressive position, spreading out his tanks, pushing a little far forward, taking some tank fire. Oh, and here we go, trying to go for the drop on the tanks, but not quite enough, and pulling back.
Still neck and neck in supply, but once again, YoDa does maintain that army advantage. And here we go again, another massive engagement, but I really like the concave for Cure if he can hold on.
If he can hold on is the question. All of his Marines actually get obliterated over there on the right side, and the tanks in front of the natural get obliterated as well. And all he's got right now is a bunch of medevacs trying to defend against all these tanks and Marines. I don't know if Cure is enough to stop this right now.
I don't think he does. I think at this point, just about nothing he can do. He's going to lose his third base, that's for sure. He's losing his natural. He is down 20 supply. He has an inferior tank count.
GG.
GG.
There you go, man. Summing it up. There you go. YoDa's able to take a win here, actually, for Prime. Something I definitely didn't expect. I don't think any of us expected it. All of us voting for Cure there, but still, YoDa somehow able to pull it through. And Gerard gets his wish. We're going to see Creator versus SOS in that 4th match. And if that can happen, anything can happen. We can go to an ace match tonight, guys.
Yeah, we can, and we might just do it. SOS, I mean, thinking about him, he hasn't been playing the best in recent times, that's for sure.
Yep, very true. And this is very important as well to get the momentum swing back into Prime's favor. Imagine if Myungshik is able to pull off some crazy, insane build like Myungshik loves to do, like some weird kind of proxy or just like 7 gates and Rogue isn't ready for you, he's playing too greedy or something. Then we go into that one 2-1 up for Prime with Creator versus SOS. That's a PvP. Creator was able to take out Zest twice. Albeit, we were talking about before, you know, Zest didn't have the best PvP day of his life, but Creator had some nice PvP. And if we could see that against SOS, who is also not playing the best StarCraft 2 of his life these days, we could definitely see an upset today, man.
It's looking that way. Next match, though, it's going to be, what was it, Myungshik versus Rogue. So this should be a pretty clear-cut win for Jin Air, unless Myungshik really pulls out something crazy.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. I mean, I was saying, you know, when I was going through that whole spiel about, you know, Prime could actually do this, I think a lot of things do have to go right. The first of which, to make them feel a little bit more comfortable, Myungshik would definitely have to win this one. But not so sure. Definitely the underdog in this matchup. YoDa getting a big pat on the back here. He's been having some trouble in recent times, and getting a win is going to probably get him on track here. As we were saying before, guys, it's going to be Rogue versus Myungshik in our next match, game number 3. It's going to be PvZ.
PvZ and Rogue looking, no doubt, favored in this game. He's been playing so well in recent times, and Myungshik has been quite disappointing as well.
Yeah, he's undefeated here in Pro League. Myungshik, can he pull something crazy off? We are going to have to wait, though, guys. It's going to be a 2-minute break. Before that, stay tuned.